Cups Daytona Beach. How are you guys?
Good morning.
Welcome back. Did everybody have a good holiday?
Yes.
Yeah?
Great holiday.
Anybody have a bad one? Raise your hand. Oh, there. Okay, no worries. Well, welcome to 1Million Cups Daytona Beach. I am Tyler LeCompte. I'm the lead organizer. Lead, I guess now?
Yeah, lead organizer.
Thanks for that. Yeah, you get a random email. You've been promoted. Oh, okay, cool. Nice. Well, welcome to 1Million Cups. Any first-time attendees? Raise your hand. Okay, that's right. Welcome. All right, we talk. Welcome to 1Million Cups. For those of you who don't know, and those of you who are watching on Facebook Live, 1Million Cups is part of a national entrepreneurial networking movement that's happening. It started in Kansas City over 6 years ago by the Kauffman Foundation. It now occurs in 185 cities across the United States every Wednesday morning, 9 a.m., just like us. So thank you so much for taking the time, and thank you for being part of this. We've got a wonderful presenter to kick us off this morning. We've got Sandy Baker with Adaptive Technology Solutions. It's a nonprofit organization that supports people with disabilities and veterans. Their funding's their top priority, but they're looking to basically provide training and education in technology for people with disabilities and veterans. So without further ado, let's go ahead and hear Sandy's story. So round of applause.
Good morning. I know some people know who I am, but not everyone. Sorry, that light's in my eye. First, let me tell you a little bit about myself. I am a person with a disability. I have a chronic seizure disorder. I was raised by two parents who both have disabilities, different ones. My father had scoliosis, and my mother is legally blind. So I know what it's like to have a disability. I have my seizure disorder that goes back 100 years in my family. But as I tell my clients, it's 1 foot in front of the other. You cannot just stay still. You have to grow. Besides my business, I'm with the Volusia County Transition Team. We help students with disabilities as they grow and enter the workforce. I am also with Disability Mentoring Day, where we help people with disabilities actually have a mentor to help them see what it would be like in another position, a job that they may be interested in. I am also with Toastmasters at 12. That's how I learned about this club. I am the Vice President of Education for them, so I help people learn how to speak much better. And I'm also with the National Federation of the Blind. So let me tell you a little bit about us. We help employ veterans and people with disabilities. We've been in business in this area for over 8 years now. And what we do is we provide computers with the adaptive technology. So for those who do not understand, adaptive technology helps people with disabilities actually use a computer. For instance, if you're blind, there's technology that you can use a computer, just like anyone else. If you cannot write, there is technology that will help you write up a document. If you cannot read, there is technology that will read something for you. These are all important pieces of technology. But what we understand is most people with disabilities cannot afford this technology, period. They are either working towards getting their disability or they have disability, and disability does not pay your bills anymore. We serve all people with disabilities. It does not matter what your disability is. We've worked with every type of disability, and we serve our veterans. Veterans have done so much for us that we need to help them. We've had many people come to us not knowing anything that could help them. We've had people come to us for homeless, living in the Salvation Army, who we've helped get into housing. We are a nonprofit. Now what that means is We don't charge anything for our services. But of course, that also can be a difficulty for us. What our main goal is to help people with technical careers. Most people don't understand that people with disabilities are actually one of the best people to work in a technical career. Now you may say, why? Because you can work anywhere in most places. You can work at home. You can work at your own pace. And today, with the remote assistance that you can use and the remote capabilities, this is even so much more accessible for people. When you're working at home and repairing a computer, you're working at your own pace. And we have found that some of the most beneficial people to work on computers, believe it or not, are autistic people. And you may say, why? Because autistic people usually see things from the inside out, which makes it so important. There are not many people that can see things from the inside out, and that's helpful. We also have to remember what the average pay is, which is over $50,000 for somebody working a technical career. I'm not sure how many people here are making over $50,000, but I'm sure there are not many. So this is a great place to start. You're not making that kind of money on disability either. People have misgivings about hiring someone with a disability, but I'm here to tell you they're one of the best people. In fact, they are more conscious about their job and stay on their job more than anyone else. They're not known for calling in sick. They're not known for switching jobs. They are the best. There is a very high demand for people working on computers. They're everywhere. They're on the bus. They're in the airplanes. They're everywhere. And not only do we need them in many different fields, my son works for stockbrokers, but we need them for many different tasks, especially repairing them, because I'm sure everyone in here has had a computer problem. We are currently the lead provider in this area. Many may not know me, but the Division of Blind Services knows me. Voc Rehab knows me. We are well known. We are the lead provider even for the state with Voc Rehab, even though we are a small nonprofit. Not only do we teach how to repair a computer, we also teach you how to use Microsoft Word. Now many people will say, well, I know how to use that, but if you're a person with a disability, you may not know how to use that, and you may need training to learn that, or Excel, because like a bookkeeper is a wonderful job to do from home. But if you don't know how to use that program, you're not going to be able to do it. Twitter and Facebook are so important today, and so many people use it. We have one client that does painting. She has learned how to build a website where she can learn how to sell her paintings. So she uses Facebook and Twitter along with her website, and that's how she supplements her income. She's a veteran. We need to help put our veterans to work. Do you know that only 21% of working veterans actually are working? When it comes to disabilities, only 25% actually work because people don't want to hire people with a disability. How many people have seen somebody in a wheelchair and think, well, they can't work. Yes, they can. I've had clients that go for a job interview. They can do the job, but as soon as an employer sees them wheel in, they don't want to hire them. And that is a shame. I have a tech working for me right now who has MS. He's in a wheelchair. It doesn't matter. He can do the job. He has problems with his hands. Doesn't matter. We got him specific kinds of tools so he can work with his hands. Like I said, building websites is very important today. If you build a website, you can sell your wares online. I was at the post office the other day. There were 2 people in front of me. They were eBay people. They sell their items online. How much easier would that be for a person with a disability to sell online? Because your buyer has no idea what you look like. They just want to buy what you have. So what is the problem? Like I said, only 21% of working age veterans are actually working. And it's not because they don't want to work, it's because people don't want them. And that is a shame, because if you served your country, you should be able to work if you want to. Nobody needs to look at your disability. Nobody needs to look at my disability and tell me I can't do something, because I can. 8 years ago, I saw the problem, and that's why I started this business, because people need the help. The high unemployment is what really gets me, because I have seen so much. I had a woman working for me a number of years ago that after about 2 hours, she said to me, well, don't you see what's different about me today? I said, no, I don't. What's different? She said, I have a new wheelchair. I said, I don't look at your wheelchair. I don't look at a service dog. I don't look at any of that. I look at you. That's what I see. And more people need to do that. Look at their face. Don't look at what's around them. Don't look at their cane. It doesn't matter. It's who you are. Only 2% of people with disabilities have a technical career. That's a shame. Let's give them the chance. As a nonprofit, we do not charge for any of our services. We train you, we help you get your certification. If you want to learn something different, we help you with that. All of our training is provided free of charge, since we are a nonprofit. Now, if you're a millionaire, we're going to think a little different. But in most cases, we do not charge anything, nothing at all. We just want you to have an open door and to be able to support yourself. This is our mission. We're to provide computers and adaptive technology to people with disabilities. This is the way we started. This is who we are. You walk in my door, you're treated like anybody else. We want to know your disability so we can help you. And that's it. What you need to learn is what we help you with. We don't care about your disability. I don't want anybody to think that way about me. My mother's legally blind. I don't think anything different about her. In fact, my mother went for her master's degree a number of years ago and worked for the Division of Blind Services. When she'd have a client come in and tell her they couldn't do something, she would look at them and say, if I got my master's, I don't want any excuses from you. None. Because there is no excuse. When she was finishing up her master's, she was basically totally blind. By the way, she graduated with high honors. It's our call, every one of us, to help our veterans, help our people with disabilities. We need to do this. The difficulties we have is we have to rely on donations and grants. Now, because of what I do and serving different types of disabilities, I do not rely on government grants. And you may say, why? Because with a government grant, you have to account for every dollar you spend. I could have an autistic person walk in one day. The next day I could have a blind person. I can't tell them that I'm going to get this technology all the way along when I may need some different kind of technology. So we rely on foundations. Another problem we have is people don't donate money. Luckily, and thank goodness, we do get technology. But the average person gives nothing as a donation to anybody any year. And that's a shame. Our future plans are to grow and give more information to people with disabilities and our veterans. We're working with a local prominent attorney. And what we're going to do is provide conferences, of course free of charge. And at these conferences, you are going to learn what types of services are available. We've had many people come in and do not know of any of the other agencies in this area. That's a shame, because there are so many other services available. What if you're homeless? What if you need food? We can help you. We know who to go to. I just worked with someone who was being physically abused. We can help that person, lead them in the right direction. Everyone needs help in one way or another, and we want to do that. We also want to teach you how to protect yourself. What if you're in a wheelchair and you're being attacked? How do you protect yourself? A lot of us do not drive. We're out there walking in the community, and it can be very dangerous. So how do you protect yourself? There are ways we can protect ourselves. I have been followed many times down the street. We also want to let people know about the ADA. Not many people understand, even when you're going to apply for a job, what your rights are. You need to know those rights. This particular attorney has worked with veterans and people with disabilities his entire career. So we want to make that available for people. This is who we are. We're in Ormond Beach. Like I said, we've been in business for 8 years. We can be found online at adaptivesol.org. You have any questions, you know anybody that needs our services, please give us a call. We will be glad to help anyone. I thank you very much, and let's put everybody to work.
Good job. Thank you so much. We're going to give you this one for answering questions. There you are. All right, another round of applause for Sandy for the definitely really, I think it's a great thing that you're doing. Definitely appreciate that. If I could start with the first question, can you tell us a little bit more about, you mentioned people don't really donate money specifically, but if you could name the top 3 things that we as a community can kind of help with right now in terms of introductions or other people, obviously money if you want to ask for it, but we try to avoid, but what would be the 3 things maybe that we could, either introductions or otherwise, we as a community can do for you really right now?
One thing you can do for us is adapt technology is so in need of any kind of technology, especially computers.
Hardware, software, both?
All of it,
All of it.
because when we get a computer, we start from scratch, we totally rebuild it.
Okay.
Everything starts from scratch. Right now, we're putting Windows 10 on every computer. So we're starting from scratch, we're adding the programs. So anything like that is very much appreciative.
Okay.
That is our number one thing that we need.
Okay, what would be the second?
Of course, funds are always necessary, but spread the word.
Good word. Okay.
Spread the word to everyone, because we just want to help more people.
Okay. Great.
Rick, with Global Cold, I read on this new homeless initiative they've got out there, First Watch, that up to 1/3 of the people are veterans that are not working. Do you plan on seeing yourself out there at that facility, helping, trying to work with them out there too, or no?
I would love to. You just get me in touch with somebody, and I would love to. I work with one of the VA people
First Watch.
down in Port Orange, and I would love to. Just
yeah.
give us a call.
I don't know of anybody, I'm just saying,
I actually, Mark with the First Step Shelter, I know the director.
Okay, excellent.
There you go.
Hey Sandy, Michael Zaharias, Florida Virtual Entrepreneur Center. I just want to thank you for what you're doing because it is important and we need more people to pay attention to this. I'm curious, what does the operational cost of your business look like? How much money per year do you need in order to fulfill the services that you provide?
90% of our money goes straight to our clients. 90%. The rest is just overhead. Right now, we're operating on 40 to 50,000 a year. Because this past year, we put out about 100 computers. So we put out hundreds of computers in this area to people. That's very small operating budget for all that we do. I myself, I work for free because I feel it's that important.
Wow, that's amazing. I just got
Hey Sandy, great presentation, powerful mission. Tom Jordan. Question I had really was, how do clients find you and how do employers find you?
We have never had a problem with finding a client. Someone asked me that before, where do you advertise? I've never advertised a day of my life. The reason people know me so well is I have worked with this community for a very long time before I ever started the business. I knew people from Division of Line Services for the last 20 years. I've known VR for all these years. They bring me the clients. Word of mouth is the best way. That's how they find us. We are on listings online, and you can find us through Google, but we don't advertise. Never needed to. But if anybody needs us, we're there, and word of mouth really goes quickly.
Any other questions? Oh, there we go.
Cassandra Jordan, Next Level Solutions in Florida.
Yes.
So do you offer employment opportunities yourself?
We
And
have,
had agencies place people with you?
no, we do not offer the job, but we offer the work experience. We've had a number of people that have come to us for work experience. We help them. When they do find something, we talk to the employer and give them the benefits of hiring that person. We have a number of people who are just so excited to work now. We use the adaptive technology that we had, even someone's an illustrator, where the adaptive technology is letting her illustrator books at home and send them to the publisher. So we help them in that respect. We get them with the next person, and then we will help them by talking to the employer.
We have a question from Facebook.
Yes,
Sue Keener asked, do you use volunteers at all?
yes. we
And
do
how
use
would they
volunteers.
connect with you?
All they have to do is give us a call, and we would love to have more volunteers. We already have 2 volunteers working with us now, and we'd love to have anybody that knows anything technical or that can help somebody get employment. We'd love to have it.
Okay. Al?
Alex Hennig, Signature Real Estate. I'm just trying to visualize your location,
Yes.
you know, how big it is, and do you have all these people coming in and getting trained, and who does the training? I'm just trying to wrap my mind around it.
We are very small, but we stagger people through the day. I train people, my assistant trains people. We have certain programs. We have 2 assistants that are techs that also help train people. So we have 4 of us that are helping train people all along. We'll stagger people through because most people with disabilities only need a couple hours at a time. We don't want to overdo it for them so they can learn slowly. And besides that, we have projects that they can take at home to learn. And we are in Ormond Beach. We're a little south of Hand Avenue.
So do you do like some online training with them
Yes.
also?
But we also do hands-on because hands-on is very important. We've had people that have taken college courses and come to us and they have no idea what they're doing. So they need to have the hands-on. We need to teach them how to rip a computer apart, put it back together, diagnose what's wrong with it, and then build it all back, put all the programs back on it. So even though we're small, we do it all.
Pedro PFS Investments. I want to thank you for the job you're doing, number one. But I understand your concern with government grants, but have you considered or investigated partnering with some of the firms, maybe someone like Easter Seals, that wouldn't be a direct to you grant, but because I can't imagine that you would qualify for lots of financial help.
Well, we can try to do that. That is another option. We have been using foundations that are both local and out of state that help fund us. The foundations are much better in funding us because they understand that we serve many people and we don't have to go penny by penny. But I would love to work with other people, absolutely, because we help so many other people in the area and we use so many other agencies.
Okay, any other questions?
I got one.
You got one? Go ahead, Mike.
What's your exit strategy, right? Because you're doing this out of the goodness of your heart, and at some point, you know, our numbers are all called and we move upstairs. What's the plan? I mean, who's going to take this over to fulfill the good work that you're doing?
I already have 2 people in mind. Yes, I do. Yes, I do, because this is something I don't want to see it. Because there's no one like us in this area. No one. And that's why I started it. I can't see stopping this. So I have 2 people already.
Good for you.
Last question.
Tom here with Oasis Senior Advisors.
Yes.
Paint the picture of a person who is homeless, living wherever they live, and there are lots of places that they live in our community.
Yes.
How is it that they are using the technology that is available through you to be productive? Is that an option for them?
It is an option, but we want them to be placed first. Okay, that's very important. Now, if you're working online, you can go to the library. You can come to us. You can work right there for short periods of time. We're not going to have you there 8 hours a day, every day. But there are other options. And if you have a laptop from us, you can work almost anywhere. You've got Wi-Fi everywhere. So that is a very viable option. Most people have cell phones now that have internet on them. So if you're selling something, if you're working online doing something else, you can do it off of the palm of your hand now. Because we place many iPads out there so people can just work from the palm of their hand.
Thank you.
Thanks, Tom. Great question.
All right, round of applause for Sandy. Yeah, good stuff. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.